What is up, movie lovers? Today we're going to be taking an in-depth look into what could be the final summer blockbuster hit, The End of Oak Street. Directed by David Robert Mitchell and starring Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor, The End of Oak Street centers around a suburban family who tries to navigate their new surroundings when their quiet neighborhood is somehow transported all the way back to the prehistoric era. While some people are claiming that this is the best dinosaur film since the original Jurassic Park, I couldn't disagree more and think that that statement is the farthest from the truth. Right off the bat, the dialogue felt incredibly forced, and it made me think that the writers have never actually engaged in any normal human interaction or conversation whatsoever. While Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor did their absolute best, even their narrative of trying to save their struggling marriage felt completely unnatural. I was genuinely surprised that two actors of their caliber even decided to sign on to this project with how poorly the script was written. The plot was completely riddled with holes and just lazy decision making. They half-heartedly tried to explain how the entire neighborhood got transported back in time, but it really just boiled down to some sort of portal or sphere with white flashing lights that would just kind of appear arbitrarily in random places. The teenage actors in this film really struggled, and I'm not sure if it was necessarily their ability or just what was written in for their characters. Even with a subpar plot and B-level acting, if you use the right practical effects and lighting, you could still make an interesting story about a suburban family fighting off dinosaurs. But alas, they opted for the overuse of CGI slop, and for some reason putting fur and weird-looking teeth on every single dinosaur. The theater I was in definitely laughed quite a few times at scenes that I don't think were intended to be humorous. At about halfway through, I found myself shaking my head and sitting there already thinking that this might literally be one of the worst movies of the entire year. With some of the absolute worst dialogue and character development, plot holes that felt like Swiss cheese, and CGI dinosaurs covered in fur that look like they belong in something like Sharknado, I'm giving The End of Oak Street 1.5 stars, and I do not recommend wasting your time going to see this in theaters. This film very easily could have just gone straight to streaming, and honestly looks like some of the garbage that Netflix produces. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of The End of Oak Street, and if you enjoyed this review and you want to see more like it, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.